Hello, everybody. Welcome to a U.S. weekly forecast. Today we'll be talking about temperature anomalies and precipitation anomalies for the next week, and we'll be going over all the forecasts and all the systems that will be moving through over the next week for the entire U.S. If you like this sort of video, consider subscribing and turning on the post notification bell, and also consider leaving a like. Anyway, let's get right into the video. So, here's a map that I made of the temperature anomalies compared to average. For a good portion of the United States, here we have well above average temperatures. Some that exceed 100 degrees. Some of these areas, which is not common for this. So for this time of year or ever. For these areas. So like, this is the line of 100 and above. Below here, you get 100. Above here, you get into the upper 90s this week. So very warm conditions. Make sure you're always hydrated and limit your time outside. In this lighter shade of orange, you have your above average, and the red was you're well above average. Like this is heat wave. There's gonna be a heat wave at the end of the week, so that's why a lot of the countries in the well above average for southern New England, parts of the Northeast, the Mid Atlantic, and even the Ohio Valley and parts west, even into the southern Midwest. But for the rest of the country mainly, except for southern Texas, Louisiana, and places around Florida, like southern Georgia, southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, you're all gonna be in that above average. Um, the only reason that the desert Southwest in this area isn't well above average is because even though they're getting numbers when I was looking at the models over like 115 degrees, that is that's above average, but it's not well above average. So this is not saying even if over in Maine it's above average, that might mean that it's 85 degrees. But in let's say Arizona, it's 115 degrees and it's in the same category. That's because compared to its average, that would be above normal. So when you're averaging like 100, 105 every day, you're only gonna be in that above average category, even though you're getting 115 degrees. But still, you should be watching out for that. The feels like temperatures could be well into the mid 120s and even some spots 130. Um, Now, if you go to the southern portion of the country, you get this slightly below average area, and right here, and in this area, you'll still be receiving 90s, but because you're used to 80s and 90s around this time of year, this isn't above average. This isn't that much above average. And you even see you have this slightly below average for parts of southern Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi. That is because Barry, that was moving out, came with a cold front behind it. So now the cold front is affecting areas even in Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Not so much Florida, but it's affecting those areas. So now you're slightly below average, like in the 70s and 80s. And when we look at the models later, you'll see that there's a little like crest over here. Um, but anyway, moving on to the next forecast map. Here's for the precipitation anomalies. So in this area, I have in the well above average area, we have we have precipitation amounts that could be well over 3 inches this for this week, and a lot of that is because Barry's moving through. Hurricane Barry was former Hurricane Barry. Barry is moving through like that, and it's going off to sea over here. So all that moisture from the Gulf is funneled up, and so you're seeing the effects up north where it's usually not raining that badly. Even in this like lighter shade of green, in southern New England, you're still gonna have some pretty hefty rainfall totals. And in this little band over here, I was looking at the models, and there's a bunch of thunderstorm bands that are just hovering over this area, and that's being even carried down the Mississippi, which is not really helping the flooding in Louisiana from Barry. So yeah, that's pretty bad. And even in this little spot of in Utah and New Mexico, it's I mean Colorado and Mexico and New Mexico. Um, in the Rocky Mountains, you're gonna see some precipitation throughout there. Not too much, but just a little bit, enough to put you into slightly above average. But we really have to talk about the West right now. So except for this little area in the Rockies, the West is receiving no rainfall this week, which is putting them in a drought. It's really bad because now that's combined with the heat and no water. It's just gonna be really tough. It's gonna be really dry, and dew points are down into the single digits throughout this area, especially this area where right here you're having temperatures at 115 degrees and dew points around 5. So it's very dry. There's no precipitation in sight. Even if you go even like 300 hours out or like around 2 weeks out, you're still not getting too much precipitation, if any at all. So this is an area we have to watch for little precipitation from California all the way to Montana down to western Texas. Okay, so now that we are done with those, we can let's go to the models. So the first model is for the temperatures. So we're starting off on Monday. Temperatures in the northeast around 85 degrees. Once you get down to the southeast, temperatures nearing 100, if not at 100. And in the desert southwest, you see those temperatures 115 degrees or more. Look at this, 115 degrees right there. And even in the valleys of the um, of the California mountains, you have temperatures over 100, 105 in some places. So just very dry conditions. We really need some rain or something to come through there. Um, um, Washington and Oregon won't be that bad. As you can see, they're still in the 70s, 75 range. So they're cooling off. Texas and New Mexico still nearing 100, above 95 for most of Texas, and Georgia really feeling a hit right over here. 95 degrees as it's cooling off in the late day hours. So let's move forward a little bit. Overnight it's gonna be around 70 degrees, and then we heat up again. It's basically like a rinse and repeat story. Um, and here, this is the day where we get very warm for this portion of the United States. You see, we have temperatures, you can see some temperatures that are in the triple digits for some areas, like over here in Kansas. So it's just very hot. And even into New Jersey, you see some temperatures above 95 degrees. Not very common for this time of year. If we move forward a little bit more, overnight hours still in the 60s and 70s, in the 80s for some places. We heat up again, especially for that central United States area. Um, cool off again at night, and this is the heat wave day. This is the heat wave day. So as you can see, in southern Pennsylvania, southern half of New Jersey, parts of southern Michigan, southern half of Wisconsin, into Minnesota and South Dakota. I mean, parts parts of Colorado, into Texas, the desert Southwest. All of us are 95 degrees plus. That like grayish is for 95 degrees plus. That is very warm, and you'll see there's not that much rain to accompany this, especially in the west. That's why the temperatures are so high and the dew points are so low. So now if we keep on going, so this is for Friday, if you were wondering. So this was Friday. This is Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah. Now into Saturday, not as warm, still very warm though. Like I can see some triple digit readings in the central United States and cooling off in the east though. And yeah, it's just very warm overall. Those like pinkish grays right over here, that's 110 degrees plus. 110 to 115 degrees plus. And if you ever see a green, that's 120 degrees plus, which is that's dangerously hot. And if we keep on moving on, Saturday really heats up again. 96 over here, into the well, not the mid hundreds. I mean like 105, in between Virginia and North Carolina. But near the coast, you're staying pretty like, cool, if you could say that. That's still like the 90s, but compared to the center of, compared to farther away from the coast, you're pretty warm. Pretty cold. Um, Cools down at night, warms back up right here in the center of the United States on Sunday. Or I mean, this is the um wee hours of Monday, so around midnight to 6 a.m. is when you're gonna see these temperatures, and then I mean this is actually the evening for Sunday. Sorry, and then this is Monday. These temperatures are for Monday. Yeah. Um. Okay. Now on to the next model. This model is by the way, these are all the European models, okay? So this is all the European model. So here is a precipitation forecast from the European model. And so here's Barry down here. This is Barry. And Barry's going to be moving up. And you can see that dark green, that's about an inch per hour or more. So look at this. This is an inch per hour in parts of southern Arkansas, and Barry's just going to be tracking like this, right? Like this. You're going to see it in the models. It's going to track, and right now, this is where the center is. This is the center of Barry right here. This is the low pressure. And it's just going to be moving to the east, and then you can see in parts of upstate New York, into even the city, and parts of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, right here in southern New England and the northeast. Really heavy rain is going to be coming down. Heavy rainfall rates. This is for Thursday, if you were wondering. And also, you see over here in the Midwest, near Wisconsin, you're going to be seeing some precipitation, heavy at times. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some thunderstorms or severe weather associated with that system. And let's keep on moving on. You can see that system from the Midwest was tracking from here, and it's gonna go right like that. Just through the Northeast and into the Atlantic Ocean. So let's continue. Here we're at Friday right now into Saturday. Pretty clear, but we do have this pop-up shower here in southern North Dakota, northern South Dakota. I hate when I have to do that, where it's like the north of South Dakota and the south of North Dakota. It messes me up all the time. Yeah, so let's just fast forward a little bit, and you can see some showers in the southeast. There's gonna be some drizzling, not too much. Just gonna be just like an annoyance rain. It's not gonna be heavy rain. It's just gonna be annoying rain. You see, there's some more rain here for the east, for the entire East Coast, pretty much, except for like northern New England, but for the most part. And then we have this big low pressure system over here. If I can get my pen out, got this big low pressure system, which will be moving like that. Or I see some models bringing it down here. So we're really gonna have to talk about this later. This is gonna be happening on Monday. We're gonna talk about this when we get closer to the event, because that could be a big system that was just coming in. It formed somewhere around here and just continued to keep on going. And so now oh yeah, one thing I want to point out is, look, throughout this entire thing, the only rain I really see is throughout here. Some rain over here. But for the rest of the west, look at this. This entire time, no rain. Some rain moves in here. Some rain will bring the dew points up, but that's actually on this next Tuesday. So yeah, this is a while out. So you're not getting any rain in these areas this entire week. This entire week for actually Idaho gets some rain. You got California not getting much. Maybe the northern tip of California will get some, but then you got Nevada, you got Utah, you got New Mexico, western Texas, Arizona. The desert Southwest is just not getting anything, holding up to its name of the desert. So now, if we look at the precipitation forecast, so this is from Barrie, by the way. This red is 3 inches. That's 3 inches from Barrie in the first 12 hours of forecasting. And then you see that. So here, let me try and break this down for you guys. So Barrie's moving up, right? It's moving up, and then it turns to the right a little bit. And also, these are the showers from the Midwest. Actually, why is it so? Yeah, okay. And so Barrie's moving up here, so that's why you see all this rain over here. This is 2 to 3 inches. And then here for the Ohio Valley, you see some portions of the Ohio Valley getting more like 5 to 6 inches of rain, like right in this pocket. It's like at the border of Mississippi, northwest Mississippi, eastern Arkansas, and southwest Tennessee. So yeah, you're gonna be pummeled with rain in the next 3 days. That's on Thursday when you'll be receiving this rain probably around Tuesday night. That's when that rain's gonna come down. And then the thunderstorms are gonna be around Wednesday. And then for the Northeast, it's coming in on Friday-ish. And you can see that that's flooding rain. That's 3.5 inches of rain for parts of Rhode Island, Connecticut, southern upstate New York, northern parts of Pennsylvania and New Jersey and Long Island. That's all 1 to 3 to even, I wouldn't be surprised if some isolated spots they'd get up to 4 inches or 3.5 inches. Sorry about that. You just look at this. No rain here, except for some parts of eastern Arizona, some parts of the mountains in New Mexico. Same thing for Colorado. But yeah, no rain there. And you just see the east getting pummeled with rain. Like upstate New York, it looks like somebody painted it red. But that's flooding rains for anywhere ranging from 1 inch to even, I see some spots of upstate New York getting up to 5 inches, like right over here. Of course, all of this could change, like where you're getting the rain, but for the most part, that's what we've seen from the models. They've been quite consistent. And if you enjoyed this type of video, I would recommend subscribing if you're new and turning on the notification bell. Liking the video would help us a lot, and tell me if you want more of these type of videos in the comment section below. Anyway, that's me. Goodbye.